Lorete. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for not skipping class. It's been a while since I've been in a classroom. I used to teach at UTEP, so I love teaching as Professor Alorete does too. So I'm super excited to be here with you. And I really want this to be a conversational sort of presentation where I get some input from you as well, so I can adapt as I go. That's like the marketer in me. And so I want to ask you, what sort of studies or what career paths are you coming into? Why are you here at EPCC? Basically, what kind of studies are you partaking in? And you can just say, is it video? Is it marketing? Is there advertising? Yes.
Mass communication.
Mass communication. What else?
Journalism.
Yes. Journalism.
Cinematic production.
Oh, cinematic production. That sounds fancy. Anybody else? Are you all around the same? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm a marketer, and this presentation is about how to use strategic marketing and branding. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself, but I really want it to be about you and about the opportunities that are for you during this time, which are amazing for all of you. And so hopefully you'll get some nuggets that will take you to through your career and help you guide that journey that you're in right now, which is super special because you are in a field that is very creative. It's growing. Most people nowadays are doing their own thing, and it doesn't mean that you don't go into a corporation or another business, but a lot of you are gonna end up doing stuff on your own. And so I'm super excited to be amongst all of you creative people. And so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my agency and how I started. Some opportunities, and then just some things that I see that you could do for yourself to brand yourself as you're taking courses and getting out there into the field. And then I'm gonna have a little quiz for you guys, and I have about 5 presents, 5 little gifts for those who answer correctly. All right, so pay attention. And then we'll have some Q&A. But at the same time, if you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand. Okay, so I was thinking about my background. I'm like, what am I gonna tell them about where I've been and where I'm going? And I'm a very curious person, and that's something that entrepreneurs and people who are creative, we just have that innately. So I guarantee that many of you are curious by default, right? I started my journey at UTEP, but also taking some classes at EPCC just like you. And I fell in love with marketing and business, but I also wanted to do something creative. And the pathway that I took was very heavily, business oriented. So I took some classes at EPCC to kind of balance that out in the creative field. So as you can see, I've had many jobs, and I think I'm missing like maybe 3 or 4 jobs here. I don't know if you can see the little logos, but even before I was in college, I was already working for retail. I was already doing a little bit of marketing here and there. And then once I got to college, I actually worked for the university in contracts and grants. So I had a lot of different teachers and mentors and pathways, even as I was, building my portfolio, before I graduated. And so I graduated from UTEP. How many of you are thinking of going to UTEP from here? Yes? Okay, some of you, and then some of you. And the rest of you?
NMSU.
NMSU? NMSU? Okay, so excellent. Some of you might even start your businesses beforehand. That's awesome. I do believe that college, was very helpful for me. So when I graduated, I took my first real position as in retail was as a department manager for JCPenney, where I learned a lot of business activities, a lot of, pricing, selling, creative. It was my foundation of being like a real professional. But after that, my curious nature, right? We're all curious. I decided to go back to school. So I went to UNM in Albuquerque. Maybe some of you might end up there. It's a wonderful college as well. And after I graduated with my degree, my MBA, because I did my master's in MBA, my master's in marketing again, I ended up working for 2 advertising agencies, which was very different from the retail experience that I had at JCPenney. This was like a creative, very creative turn. But again, you know, and as a creative person that I always wanted to be, that always attracted me, and I decided that was the path for me at that time. For you, it might look a little different. I'm not saying that this is a path you should take or that you should do everything that I did. I'm saying that you know, you have to kind of do what feels right for you. And if you want to go into one industry, one career, that's perfect. If you want to try different things, which is very likely what will happen with some of you, that you will be trying to figure out where you fit in and where you know, where that passion lies, you know, that's where you should go. And so, so after I worked at UNM, I went to Dallas. I worked for 2 agencies. It was a great environment. I also ended up leaving those environments for different reasons, and I ended up doing marketing at UNT and Denton. So that's a sort of a different kind of like a project management opportunity that I had in marketing to hone my skills. And this is the first time that I actually had the opportunity to teach students, and I really, really loved it. And so I always come back to teaching. I think the fabric of my spirit is to teach and to create. And so I always have to balance those 2 sides. After that, I came back home to El Paso, and I got a really cool job at UTEP, researching entrepreneurs, figuring out, you know, the different cultural nuances of Hispanic entrepreneurship, and also teaching. And that gave me an opportunity to see the creative side of business and, you know, how to help small businesses to thrive. So I was the director of a research center at UTEP for I think 10 years. And I also taught marketing courses for 12 years there. And so it was a very fulfilling experience. And because I had all this background, I had worked for universities, I had worked in retail, I had worked in the creative fields, I was able to put everything together and be able to teach students. And so one of my biggest passions is to teach. And then finally, in seeing all these opportunities for entrepreneurs, I decided to open my own business, which is 11D Marketing. And because I had some experiences in the past in the creative field where I felt that marketing needed to soften and to be different. I don't know about you, but when I worked in the advertising fields, they have been a little stressful and sometimes cutthroat. Does anybody have a job here that works in those fields? Más o menos, yes?
We have some students who I know like work through the EPCC social media account, so that counts as advertising.
Okay.
Maybe no jobs, but I know that a lot of you have worked on creating videos, taking photography for a project, doing graphic design as well. That also counts as advertising, right?
Wonderful.
Or what else counts as?
Account executive, social media, video production, content creation. All those fields are, part of advertising. I loved advertising when I worked in Dallas. I worked for a Domino's account, Domino's Pizza, and I ate a lot of Domino's Pizza, by the way. And for Sony, the Sony account as well. And as much as I loved it, I always felt that pressure, that also like left brain analytics, kind of deal going on. And I thought there has to be a better way for marketing and for advertising to function, and that is to have a balance. And so I created 11D Marketing. and now I'm full
Tell us
force.
what
Yes.
11D stands for.
Yes. So that's my next slide.
Okay.
11D marketing. No, it's cool. It's cool. I get that asked a lot. It's like, what the hell is 11D marketing? So it's short for 11 dimensions. How many of you have seen 1111 or the same number like 3 times? 777, 222, 11111, right? So when I was in my 20s, right, and I was in Albuquerque, I started seeing that in my dashboard a lot. 1111, I would look up and it was 1111. Everything was 1111, and I was like, what is that? What does it mean? So I started looking it up and like seeing the different meanings of it. And one of the meanings that really struck me was that the 11 dimensions is part of string theory. And what that means is that when you have all these different dimensions, we live in the 3rd dimension, right? There's 3 dimensions. There's more beyond that we don't see, but we live in the physical world. When you have 11 dimensions, there's like all of these different things working together to create a whole in physics, right? And that's how the universe works. And it's successful because it's got all those dimensions. And so for me, it was really interesting to see that we can combine that theory with marketing, because what makes marketing successful for organizations and for you personally, your personal brand, is to look at the different aspects of yourself, the different dimensions, and integrate them so that they can work together to help you be successful. So aside from that, so if you look at all of these, different dimensions, to me, the dimensions of marketing are, that you have your strategy, that you use social media, that you use email marketing, that you use video, content creation, what else? Mobile, your website, optimization, your brand, these different aspects of it. And they all kind of have to work together. And that's one of the hardest things that most people and most organizations lack, is cohesiveness. And what 11D marketing does is to help organizations, put everything together so that we can create that whole and create success. And so I look at advertising and the creative fields, and many times I see these agencies just kind of spitting out the same services, the same packages over and over, and they're just like, this is what we do. We do social media, and we just do content creation, and we're just spitting content, blah, 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 blah. And then the business is like, well, I'm not getting any customers. Why? Right? Well, why do you think that's happening if we're just doing content creation for a business and they expect us to make money for them? What do you think is lacking? What could be lacking?
Conventions.
Feedback. Feedback. I mean, if I put product out there and you don't tell me how it's doing, I don't know what it is. Yeah, my product is what?
Yeah, we don't know what's happening. We don't have a feedback. We're not adapting. That's part of it. What else?
Community.
Community. What do you mean by community?
I mean, like, if they don't belong in some place, I don't know.
For the people who work there, or for the customers?
For the customers.
The customers, yes. Okay, now you're getting somewhere. What else? Why just like putting content out there and we're just doing, let's just say that that's all we do. We just put content out there. And no plan, yes.
Or goals.
Exactly, right? So a lot of organizations are doing this in marketing, and what we're saying is like, no, wait a minute. Let's have an eagle-eyed view of this organization, of this business. Let's create a plan, first of all, based on the specific needs of that business, and that creating that culture, creating community, that authenticity, that works just for that particular business, not something cookie cutter for absolutely everybody. And so that's where 11D marketing lies, is like really getting to know the company, understanding their customers really well. And if we don't understand them really well, it's like, who are they? Let's understand them. Let's learn more about them. So we really care about our customers, and we really try to put all those things together, to create a whole. And so So that's part of it. The other part that Professor Alderete mentioned was the intuitive marketing part. Have you all noticed that AI and data analytics is kind of taking over? How do you feel about that?
Don't.
Do you love it?
No.
Is it interesting?
I think it's scary because it does kind of manipulate the audience with the way, like, oh, this is actually how it's supposed to be, and like just scares people a lot. I genuinely don't.
There's some manipulation. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Who else? Yes.
On top of that, AI could be a little bit unreliable sometimes
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like information that goes through.
Could be unreliable. It could be manipulative. That doesn't mean that it's completely negative, but it's leaning, right, towards that negativity. And that I see a lot of jobs out there for even creative people that are like more analytic, which is not wrong either. But what I'm proposing with this system is that we have to use our left and right brains to balance out any business, any creativity that we're putting out there. We have to have the business side, the logical side. That's perfect, the goals, right, the strategy. But we also have the more intuitive part of it, which comes really from inside. And every person and every business has that culture, that authenticity, that realness inside that comes out, and we wanna leverage that and use those too. And so when I sit down with a client, I try to really understand who they are at the core, not just from like numbers and their expectations, but to really get to know them and what they really care about, and have that intuition about that magical thing, right? How many of you believe in your intuition and your guiding system and your compass? Yes, do you use it? Yes, is it becoming louder and louder nowadays? Yeah. And so that's what we're doing in business. Is now we need to have that compassion, we need to have that authenticity. So with that, a lot of the services that we provide for clients are very, content heavy. It doesn't matter what we're doing, if it's online advertising, if it's SEO, or if it's website design, it's very content heavy. And so many of you here are in those fields, and you're gonna be part of these organizations creating the content, whether for one business or for many businesses, or you name it. So we try to provide these different services. I will tell you that the top 3 that businesses need in order to have a good presence online. Well, I'm gonna ask you, can you guess which ones are the most important? Like for startups.
3 what?
The three services, marketing services that small businesses require when they're starting their digital presence.
Social media.
Social media. What else?
Website.
A website.
Advertising.
And advertising, yes. With the website, you have optimization. Have you ever heard of SEO before? Search engine optimization, which means that you're optimizing the content of the website so that it's pulled by not only the search engines, but the AI, right? The AI summaries and all of these different engines. So those are the top 3 that we usually connect with the business, but then we try to adapt it again to their special needs. Remember my background with all those little steps everywhere, that I've done all these different things. I've had 1,000 jobs because I think I'm an entrepreneur and I'm curious, right? So guess what? How does that help me as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to help business owners? Because I've dealt with all of these different industries, okay? So to me, that was my road, and it worked for me because now I'm a business owner, and then I can tell those retailers that come to me and say, I'm not selling my product, what do I do? Okay, let's do it, let's have this plan, let's use it. E-commerce, retail, education, health and wellness, those are the types of businesses that I attract. And in all honesty, I attract the businesses that I've worked on before, mostly, which are in education, which are in retail, because that's my expertise, and wellness, health. I usually attract those because those are the ones that I think are very uplifting to our society. So part of the 11D marketing formula as well is to promote products and services that uplift people. And I think that resonates a lot with your generation, because you want a better environment, right? You want a better planet, you want better communities. And so I think that we can use our voices. You can use your voices and your creative expertise and your passions to really elevate those organizations. Nonprofits need it. Educational organizations need it. Wellness. There's like a whole thing now with like life coaches. I don't know if you've seen them online. There's a lot of like mental health. Let's get people on the right track, right? All those types of businesses need marketing, and they need you to do it. So that's where I'm at. We really love helping all these businesses. Once in a while, I will get a business that is not a business that I worked on, but it's something that is very fulfilling as well, because we get to learn about the industry. Now, a lot of agencies will focus on one industry, and they're very successful. That's another way of doing it. If you work for an agency that says, we're just gonna market HVAC or electricians or a certain type of customer, and you will get those, and that's fine. I get bored, as you could see from my background. I need a lot of variety. And so that's, to me, it's like, okay, if you're doing good in the world and like you're uplifting, you're doing like awesome things, then you're great. Like some of the clients that I have, like El Paso Saddle Blanket is one of them. They're a wholesaler. They've been around for 53 years. Amazing company, all over the world, global. They're my really good clients. I have a pet store that I love, and we do so well because people love pets, right? Who doesn't love pets? So I really enjoy working and doing what I do. Okay, opportunities for you. So tell me, where do you see yourselves? What do you see yourselves doing once you graduate, or even before that? Like, what's your goal?
Yeah, honestly.
What positions are you looking for? What do you want to do?
Social media management.
Social media? Okay, social media. Management, okay, very good. Okay, anybody else?
Audio production.
Audio production. Do you want to work for a specific industry or an agency, or?
Just kind of like, just working with audio for the news and stuff.
Okay, for the news. Okay, cool.
News anchoring.
News anchoring. Oh, I love that. I used to go to Vegas to the conference. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, the NAB conference.
I don't think so, but it sounds.
You should go. For anchors. Yes.
When is it? When is it?
They used to be in April. I don't know.
April?
Yes.
Okay.
When I worked at UNT, I used to work for the communications department, and we used to go for RTVF, and we used to go every year, and you would see all the anchors, all the student anchors, like trying to get interviews and connect with. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Oh, and they would dress up so sharp. It was really fun. So, yay.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Maybe because I
Mhm.
thought at the beginning what I wanted was probably social media manager.
Mm-hmm.
But I have an internship with the Chihuahuas and I like broadcasting for sports. But how did
That's wonderful.
I know you went like different ways. Like
Yeah.
how did you came about like this is how I want to do my business, or you just took all those steps for you to decide that you wanted to do this?
Well, I would tell you that when I was a student like you, I was terrified of entrepreneurship. And when I would hear people say, other students say that they were going to be entrepreneurs, I was like, what? No, absolutely not. Never. And then life takes you to different, to winding roads. I didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur right away. But now looking back, when I was a kid, I was very entrepreneurial, and I would sell my little drawings to my family members. And I used to do I realized that I had just forgotten all that stuff. But I think every journey is unique, and if you have a pathway that you feel that that's it, then that's it for as many years as will be. I see a lot of people who have a very specific line of experiences that are very similar, and they just keep going up in positions, and they end up as managers, directors, VPs, and that's fine with them. For me, it was just very different. It was like my winding roads, because I love a lot of different things. So I think journaling is really important to like getting all that stuff out, and figure out where you want to do, talking to a counselor about where it's headed, looking at the industry and seeing if there's growth in that. So if you want to do social media, I think you're in the right place. And social media is such a big branch that you could go in any direction.
And also for those of you, you can have a job in journalism and then go do social media for the Chihuahuas, and then next year after that you go back to the news, and then after that you go into marketing, and then you do two things at once. But just because you try or you end up doing a little bit of advertising and marketing does not take away all the other experience that you have. It just kind of builds up, and it gives you a better perspective. You also end up practicing a lot for the things that you do like. Right? So it's not like like you did advertising, that's it. You have to stick to that, right?
And I think nowadays people do have a lot of different like side gigs. So like we have so many gifts inside, and I think that was my issue, is that I can do this and this and this. And so I tried all those different things, and it helped me to grow. I think journalism students are really good at SEO. Wink, wink. By nature, you're just very detailed. For those of you who are like journalists and in that environment, you're very detailed. You know how to find the keywords for the article, how to optimize. Like if I were hiring an SEO person, I would now look for a journalism background, not an SEO or a business person, because I just know how good you could be, in that. So these are sort of the positions that I see posted a lot, and the ones that like pop up on LinkedIn or in my radar when I'm looking for someone. Marketing coordinator or assistant, a social media manager coordinator, an intern. If you're doing video, audio, cinema, content creation, content is king in marketing. And so you're probably going to end up doing some sort of content creation at some point. Even if you're in journalism, you create content. So copywriter, SEO assistant, influencer. How many of you want to have a social media following and be an influencer? Anybody? Okay. What topic? That's a good question. But you want to be an influencer.
Something in the entertainment industry.
Okay. That's like a really cool job right now. And it's like booming.
Something in health and fitness education.
And health and fitness education. I love that. It's so necessary nowadays to have those voices out there. So I see a lot of young people, having thousands and thousands of followers. Like for one of my clients for El Paso Saddle Blanket, I used an influencer. Her name is Michelle Darlene. And all she does is cowgirl and cowboy stuff. She has a ranch in Montana here in El Paso. And she does like these beautiful photo shoots and videos. And we love working with her. And she has over 150,000 followers. She does really well, and she gets paid, or she gets a merchandise, from her clients. Did you have something that you wanted to add as for influencer?
I do personal training, so I would be
A personal, okay, for health, yeah. And that's your brand, right? Like that's something you want to be known for that, and that's why I think it's super important to have that brand, and we'll talk about that. So tell me, what are some of the? Are you looking for jobs right now? How do you see the environment? Do you see it challenging? Do you see opportunities? How do you feel? What's your state of your feelings about your job opportunities, or you're still thinking? Yes. Do you feel positive about them? Like it's easy to get a job. Like you will. Más o menos. Yeah.
Expecting one from the experience.
It's like the catch-22, right? Like, yeah, like how do we get the job? Yes. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. It's how do you land those jobs? How do you create your brands? Because the challenge now is that they want people who have a lot of either you're very good at what you do, like have a lot of experience and like honed in, or you know how to do a lot of different things if you're more of a generalist, which is what I am. I'm more of a generalist. But I will say that these challenges can be overcome if you are working towards your branding and your positioning. And a lot of people think branding is just for a business, but that's not true, because we are brands. And I don't mean it in like, oh, you can sell yourself. I really dislike that when people say that, like sell yourself, and like you're putting yourself out there, right, to be bought. No, you have your way of doing things. You have your mannerisms. You have your colors. You have your interests, your passions, your voice. You're into health and fitness. Then that's what maybe the brand that you should develop is conveying that to people who are following you, so that they can see you as the authority in that topic, right? For branding, I feel like back in the day, they used to tell you to create this image of yourself and portray that image of, I don't know, confidence and whatever, right? Like you build this image around certain aspects that maybe didn't belong to you. But nowadays, it's so important to be yourself, and you probably have heard this 1,000 times. Being yourself is like the best way you could do it. And I will tell you one more time. Yes, just kind of revealing who you truly are and using that. People love that. Like people love to follow real. I don't have to tell you, TikTok wins, right? For many of you, it's like everybody's real, everybody's crying, everybody's doing their own thing. I didn't grow up like that, but I think that you have to be yourself when you're sharing yourself and who you are. And so, what do you think a brand is, first of all? What is a brand? Your reputation, the reputation of an organization, of a person. What else?
Like something that stands out of like in a business or in a person in general.
What else?
Something that represents the company overall.
A representation, yes. Give me some examples of a brand give me an example of a brand that you love. And what are those elements?
Nike.
Who said Nike? Oh, Nike. Okay, so what are the brand elements that make you recognize that brand?
Like
The swoosh,
logo.
the logo. What else?
I don't know, maybe like their sports people, like they hire.
The influencers, right? The sports. Yeah, absolutely. Their messaging, right? What is it about their messaging that you like?
It's just like go do what you want to do, something like that.
Go do what you want to do. Okay. All right. Yeah. Any other brands? Another brand? That's always. I love Nike because it's the most recognized by people everywhere. In all of my classes, it's usually the first one or the second one that gets brought up. And they're very they're very popular. Obviously, they've developed that brand over many decades, right? They're very popular, and most students know it. But what would you say about your own personal brand? Like, what would be your, like, if you were putting together a brand for yourself, and maybe you guys can help them put it together, what would be some of the aspects of your brand that people would see?
Sporty.
That he's sporty, okay. What else?
Cool cat.
Cool cat, okay. How does he convey that?
His hair.
His hair, okay. What else? If you would see him, you would be like, oh, he's into sports. He is this kind of person.
They use stuff.
What he wears, what he talks about, right? So all of those things create the brand. What people think of you, your expertise, your values, your voice, and the impact that you have. And so what I want you to think about is what kind of impact are you having in your environments, whichever ones they are? What do people know you for, and what do you want to be known for? And one of the things that I learned from a colleague of mine at UTEP is not about how many people you know, right? Or like when it comes to networking, is how many people know you for the things that you've done and the things that you stand for. And that's how you start developing your brand, and then you can get a job or start your own business or get clients and customers. So what I like to do is kind of give you some practical strategies that are important for students at this stage, so that you can start developing that brand, that vibe, that image, but at the same time it's truthful, right? You're not making it up because it really comes from you. And we really want to see your true nature and your gifts. So I think to develop your brand identity, you have to have some sort of differentiation. And some of you already mentioned like health and wellness, health and fitness would be your differentiator. Some of you are thinking of doing something else, but if you're in the health and fitness industry, what do you think would make you stand out from other health experts? What do you think? Do you have any idea of like what specific?
Probably the strategies for how I would share the information about it.
Okay.
A lot of fitness coaches or experts have their different ways of showing, sharing information or sharing concepts. Maybe doing it in a way that I personally connect with, that hopefully other people will resonate with.
Do you have an idea what different, what you would want to do? What would be?
Good question. For example, I'll see influencers or experts do videos in their car or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So maybe for me, it would be maybe in my room or just like in a gym setting.
Yeah. The setting is really important, right? And it could be different. Yeah.
For me personally, I'm not a huge fan of short form content.
Okay.
Because I find it to be very addicting.
Yes.
Maybe with a more longer form content.
Oh yeah. And which platform will you use for that?
Probably YouTube or Instagram.
YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Love that. See, so he already kind of has a plan of how he wants to portray himself. And that's part of the brand identity, right? Like figuring out, okay, what's my topic? What's my differentiator? What do I want to accomplish? What's my vision? What's my value? How much am I going to charge for this? Is this just something I'm testing out? Or, am I really interested in developing a following so that I can get people who sponsor me, things like that, right? Your personality is where, it could flourish here in your brand and your authenticity. But I would also say that I see a lot of people starting things and then not finishing them, or just kind of quitting and leaving. Okay, so commitment is really important to developing your brand. I will invite you to start thinking about, what expertise, what kind of strengths you have. Start writing those down. What are, your values? What do you care about? What are the school and experience aspects that you have? Like, things that you've done, things you've experienced, and then also your inner nature, right? That intuitive, more internal nature of you that has this passion or that wants to, or a way that you say things, or that commitment to the environment or commitment to, I don't know, pets, dogs, cats, whatever it is, colors, being like creative, being grounded, right? It's again the left and the right brain working together to create that brand. So I would ask myself, like, what are my skills and my strengths? What are my passions? Am I passionate about health and wellness? Do I want everybody to feel healthy and well? How do I want people to perceive me professionally? Okay, so developing this persona, this amplifying who you already are in a more polished way is what's gonna help you. And then looking at it from a marketing perspective, it's more about like, what is my mission and vision? You can have a personal mission and vision that you can. Have you ever done these types of exercises? I don't know if you teach them in journalism. You don't, right? Or in advertising. Yes, some of you have seen it. So we're gonna think a little bit like business people, right? Like, who's my target audience? I mean, even as a journalist, you need to know who your target audience is, right? So like,
Everything is for our audience,
Mm-hmm.
and we write with the intention to benefit our audience.
Your audience, exactly. Like, you want to create value for your audience, and I think that's the most important thing. And when you're aligned with your passion for helping, and with what you want people to get out of what you do, your work, that's where you're the happiest in your careers. Many times I do see people, that they might just get a job when they need it, which is okay. It's perfectly okay to, if you find something, maybe for a little while, but eventually you start becoming resentful or maybe negative about a position if it's not really in your alignment. And so I just urge you to find that, try to find that alignment when you're navigating getting opportunities, is just feeling happy. Because if you're going to spend so many hours of your life working on something, you have to love it. Like, you really, really have to love it, because there's some mornings that you woke up and you're going to be like, why am I doing this, right? And if you love it, you're going to remember, it's because I love doing this and this and this. And believe me, it's not all like happiness in the world of marketing. There are days that I wake up and I'm like, what did I get myself into? And then I remember, right? Because I want to do this, because I really care about our community, elevating businesses here in El Paso, like really providing a digital marketing presence, blah, 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 right? A cool little thing that you could do is write down 3 words that you want associated with your name. What would be one, like right at the top of your head, that you would want people to know you for? Hardworking. Oh, she's so hardworking. We can trust her because she really loves it. Like, to me, that's like, you love what you do, right? What else?
Creativity.
He's so creative. Like, I love watching his short films. You said cinema, right? Yes. Okay. I love watching his, that's why, like, he's so creative. Let's have him do this project because he's so creative. One more, another word.
Reliable.
She's so reliable. I can trust her that she's gonna have that article, or she's gonna deliver the news on that desk when we need her, right? And we could trust you. And so these words, we want to be a walking billboards of these words, right? For, like, exude that energy, tell people about yourself, and don't be shy to tell them, who you are. Okay, building an online presence really quick. How many of you have LinkedIn? Okay, so like maybe that's 40%.
Who has LinkedIn?
Okay, awesome. For those of you who do have LinkedIn, please optimize your profiles, okay? During this week, make sure that you have something new to show that you're doing, I don't know, whatever, an article, a presentation you did, etc. Make sure that LinkedIn is out there because it's going to be very helpful. I've hired two students in the past month from LinkedIn. One was my student, and her name is Andrea. She's in New York now, but I found her because we're connected on LinkedIn, and I just hired her for a project. And the other one is Journey, who's a video production young lady that I just hired her for some work. And so I've gotten hired off of LinkedIn as well. So make sure that you have that set up. How many of you create content on a consistent basis and you upload it to your platforms or somewhere? Yes? Do you all have social media? What are you posting about? Your dogs?
Oh.
The plants in your garden?
Whatever's personal.
The what?
Whatever's personal.
Whatever's personal? Okay. So Instagram allows you to have like 5 different profiles. Maybe create another one where you have all your portfolio of creative stuff. Maybe on LinkedIn have everything that's very professional. Maybe on TikTok do something creative related to your profession and start developing that content. So leave footprints, right? Leave the little footprints out there. How many of you have a resume that's updated? Okay, excellent. Have you gotten it reviewed by a counselor or somebody, a mentor? And yes, okay. For those of you, yay, who did, and those who haven't, please make sure that you take it out. Resume is super important. And how many of you have a website or a portfolio? Okay, all of you need to have a website. All of you. All of you. That is your presentation card, and that's your digital presence. Remember 11D marketing? All the connections? You have to develop that presence on LinkedIn, on other socials, on your website, and make sure that when people are looking you up, that you show up for your work, whatever you're passionate about. Okay, and then for offline presence, how many of you network? How many of you are networking at this time? 2 people, 3, 4, 5. Okay, just a few of you. Why is networking so important?
Connections with other people, like in the same industry.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Don't make the same mistake that I made. I used to think they used to drill it to us. I remember at YouTube, they're like, networking. That's how blah, blah, blah. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. My work speaks for itself. And many times I got by and I got jobs without networking, and I was very lucky. But nowadays, the job market requires you to have a network, okay? So I'm gonna be like my old professors and everybody else in the industry back then. I'm gonna tell you, networking is super important. And so when I finish my presentation, maybe you can come up and introduce yourselves to me, if you have time, and if you want to, or introduce yourselves to each other, because you never know, who you might meet. A lot of my classmates are now my friends or business partners or, project colleagues. And so networking is a big opportunity. There's other ones that I've listed here, like doing presentations, your personal appearance, start dressing up like you want to be seen, even if you're a student. And I know that it's, I dress a lot, in jeans and tennis shoes. I love that. It's very creative. And for many of you who are very creative, that works. But if there's a position that you're aspiring to, like the anchor, right? You want to be an anchor. And so I would encourage you to just kind of start seeing how anchors dress and just kind of start like playing around with that type of attire, so that you can start portraying that vibe, okay? And if you get a chance to present anywhere, please do so. Presenting, people start getting to know you. Okay, I have a little quiz for you guys. I have little gifts, little presents here for those who get it right. Let's see if you guys paid attention. Let's see. I'll start with this one. Okay, so what does 11D marketing stand for and what is the meaning behind it? And then Professor Alderete is gonna choose the person to answer because I don't want to be.
Oh.
So what does, huh?
You already have one signed up.
Where? Okay, so what does 11D marketing stand for and what is the meaning behind it?
11 dimensions and relating it to string theory, being that those 11 dimensions are the different parts of your strategies via SEO or PPC, etc.
Yay! Yay! First winner! Okay. Second question. Name 2 services we provide at 11D Marketing.
Marketing strategy and website design. Yay!
Yay! Who was it? Okay, awesome. Name 2 marketing positions that I had on the screen that we talked about. What did she say?
Digital marketing and social media. Digital marketing.
Yes.
And social media marketing.
Yes. Yay! I'm so happy you all paid attention. Yay. Why is personal branding important in your career?
It's how you represent a company or yourself.
It what?
It's how you represent a company or yourself.
And what benefit does it have to you? What opportunities can you have when you have your brand?
Well, for a company, it might be like sales or their profit.
Yes. And for you?
For me, new like jobs.
Yes.
Job opportunities. Absolutely. Yay. Okay, so name 1 online tool for branding and 1 offline. And she chooses.
One online tool for branding can be social media, and then one for offline branding can be yourself. You have put yourself out there in presentation.
Yes.
Or networking with others.
Absolutely. Yay. Awesome. Thank you. All right, everybody. So this concludes my presentation. I'm open for questions. Thank you so much for being such good sports and interacting. Are there any questions? Everybody's like, I'm ready to go.
Do you have any business cards?
I do have some. If you come after, I'll give you one.
Oh.
And I have some chocolate here too. Yes.
You mentioned that brand of networking. How important is mentorship along with networking? Mentorship.
Having a mentor?
Yes.
Oh, so important. I was very lucky to have amazing mentors throughout my different careers. And they're just a guiding light to knowledge, to they lend an ear, when you're having issues, difficulties, because they're experts in that field and they've already been through it. So I would definitely recommend that if you can, you can have a mentor, a professor, like Professor Alderete, or somebody who's been in the industry for many years, that you absolutely reach out to. I think it's imperative.
Your mentor becomes like your parent for work.
So
where they teach you what they know because they're the parent, they've been around for longer, and they teach you.
When you reach out to them, you just go like, hey, could you be my mentor? What do you say? What do you say when you
for me,
find that one person?
That's a great question. And I think it depends on your personality. Like, I was very shy. I was young. I was super shy. I never asked questions during presentations or at work or anything. So my mentors always came to me by default. Like, I just attracted them and I just started just kind of asking questions and building rapport with them. So if it works for you to reach out and say, I would love to maybe have a conversation with you about this or that, maybe that could be the start. I think that could work. Sometimes it just kind of like they navigate. They just come to you automatically.
But if you do send an email, I can have some like tips. I would say you wouldn't necessarily go, hi, can you be my mentor?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you would do is say, you send a proper email and you would say, hi, my name is Vianney, I'm a student. Now, those of you who don't have a career or tons of experience yet, you can also say what you want to do in life. Look, and I'm interested and I want to be a journalist when I graduate from college. And I would love to talk to you and learn more. That's it. And then they will call you, you can go have coffee, but just meet first. And then let them know your intentions. You don't have to say, I have awards from journalism. No, just be like, I want to do what you do. Would you be available to share what you know of the industry? And most people love to talk about themselves, so you will probably get a yes. So maybe that's a better approach. But tell them who you are and what you like and what you're interested in. Not just say, I'm a student. Like, I'm a student, I like this, and that.
There are also organizations like SCORE, like in marketing, like the organization SCORE I reached out. That was the only time I've actually reached out to a mentor. And they are mentors already, so they're expecting to make that connection. But yeah, that's absolutely right what Professor Alderete said.
Oh,
yes.
Sad.
What would be like what would you think the goal post for when you jump from career to career to career? Like what would you say like what was like a good stopping point for you and how did you make that judgment?
For my business, when I just realized?
Just like in general for like your business and everything.
I felt like usually within 2 or 3 years, I felt that I had learned everything that I needed to learn. I just felt that sense of completion and curiosity to kind of go to what was next. And then another thing is that while I was in school, a lot of the times I had to sort of find what was available so I could go to school. And then when school was done, it was like, okay, now I can explore this or I can explore that. So I don't know if that answers your question. It's just a matter of like, you just kind of feel it, like this is not an alignment with me anymore. I need to move on. And that I've been really good at. Like I have that I've always sensed that. But if you don't, I think the feeling is like you don't feel excited anymore. And like the energy just feels kind of flat. And you're like, okay, I need to move on either to something higher, like of the same, but like maybe a different position or a different direction. And because I like to learn a lot of different things, but if you just want to do like video or audio or journalism, like that's your passion, you might want to like stick to that. But even Professor Alderete, I know that she loves to do different things as well.
Yeah. Your curiosity will let you know when you're done. The next one. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you all. I appreciate you. Thank you.